смотри, сейчас бомбанем. Ебать! Снял? Офигеть!
Охуеть!
Охуеть, смотри.
We have new details regarding a series of drone attacks targeted industrial facilities in Russia's Ryazan, Penza, Samara, and Voronezh oblasts overnight on Og. 2. Besides oil refineries and plants, Ukrainian drones also targeted the Anna Nefte product fuel and lubricants storage base near the village of Anna in Voronezh Oblast. Additionally, Ukrainian drones operated by the Security Service of Ukraine targeted the Primorsko-Akhtarsk military airfield in Russia's Krasnodar Krai, striking storage and launch facilities for Shahed kamikaze drones, the SBU claimed. Following the attack, a fire reportedly broke out near the airfield. Both Elektropribor and the Novokuibishevsky refinery are subject to international sanctions. The refinery is owned by Rosneft, a Russian state-controlled energy company sanctioned by the United States in 2014 following Russia's illegal annexation of Crimea. The Ukrainian military called the attack a response to Russia's recent strikes on civilian infrastructure in the country. The strike across Russia come just a day after Moscow launched a barrage of drones and missiles on Kyiv on July 31st, killing at least 31 people and injuring 179 in one of the deadliest attacks on Ukraine's capital since the start of the full-scale invasion. A report to the Russian Two Majors Telegram channel from an artilleryman on the very poor quality of new ammunition. About ammunition. The information was verified through an active artillery officer who had been through more than one war and was currently at the front. The Russians are disgusted at the poor quality of North Korean mortar shells. 3 layers of paint, a bent fuse resulting in the body is in shambles, fins covered with oily sludge. They write to us, "Good health, comrade majors. A cry from the heart. I ask for publicity. If necessary, I can go through Dinan with you. I am a combat officer, an artilleryman in an infantry regiment. We have been working closely for almost 3 years. Everyone in my unit knows their business. Any calculation number can easily replace both the gunner and the gun commander. When we first arrived at the special military operation, we were working with Soviet combat load, the same one that had a GOST, state standard which was certified and fired before entering the troops. Old, rusty in places, but it was possible to work. The work was going great. Then the Iranian and Korean crap appeared. There are no complaints about Iran. Ideal sets of shots. They fly where they should. With Korea, it was worse. Carpet bombing over areas. Somehow we zeroed them in with the entire front. But for pinpoint work, we try not to use it. There is little trust. And then the moment came when they started importing Russian BC, a modern one. To say that it is a fucking mess is to say nothing. You make a shot from one batch, adjust it, and the second one from the same batch gets a 1 to 2 km overshoot. There are no checklists with individual adjustments to each shot set, which indicates that there is no quality control of the manufactured products. It even happens that the cartridges, come without primers. What kind of quality control are we even talking about? To the following problem. Who are the poorly shooting artillerymen for the infantry? To all the explanations about the zero quality. We are not even talking about the age of the guns and their shooting. The consequences, transfers to assault units. If you do not start working, the crews will go to assault. And no one gives a damn that these people have been doing their job for years, destroying hundreds of units of weapons and military equipment of the enemy together with their personnel. In assaults, period. The majority of the artillerymen transferred to assaults are 200 in the first days. There are no training grounds where they are retrained. They took the machine gun and went ahead. How the fuck are we going to start working if we have nothing to use it with? If our military-industrial complex is negligent in its work, we can't do anything. Let's bring this issue to the masses. Let dozens of controllers go to these factories stamping out ammunition and monitor the quality of the products, because what is happening now is sabotage. We came to defend our motherland, our people. We are doing everything in our power. Meanwhile, The situation with clean drinking water in occupied Donetsk region remains dire. Water is delivered to towns by tanker trucks and appears anything but drinkable.
The film crew of the First Republican Channel arrived in the Krasnovardaysky district of Makiivka, but not just to shoot material, but to replenish water supplies that people needed.
And while Donetsk residents are with almost no water, they watch as occupation authorities water the flower beds. Trump says Putin is obviously a tough nut and claims nothing has changed in that regard.
He's obviously a tough cookie, but so it hasn't changed in that way. But I'm surprised. We had numerous good conversations where we could have ended this thing. Yeah. And all of a sudden, bombs start flying.
Footage shows 200 motorcycles collected by Russian volunteers for upcoming assault operations by occupying forces.
Another collection is closed, 200 motorcycles, which you could say are assembled by hand, because they arrived to us completely disassembled. Now we are waiting for the gaze and we'll start distributing them.
Ukraine's air defenses achieved an 87% interception rate in July, downing 5,702 out of 6,529 Russian aerial targets, Ukrainian analysts report via the military journal Telegram channel. Russia set a new monthly record for drone launches, 16% higher than in March, while cruise missile activity remained steady at 116 launches. Analysts note that as the number of attacks increases, the absolute number of targets reaching their objectives also rises, even with consistently high air defense effectiveness. The United States and NATO are discussing a new mechanism for providing military assistance to Ukraine, which would involve European allies paying for American weapons. The details of this plan have become known to Reuters from 3 informed sources, according to European Pravda. According to Reuters, NATO countries, the United States and Ukraine, are developing a new approach that should provide Kyiv with weapons from the list of Ukraine's priority needs, known by the acronym PEARL. According to the concept, Ukraine will create request packages worth about $500 million, indicating the most needed types of weapons. NATO allies will then coordinate with each other under the coordination of NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, to agree on who will supply or pay for the items. According to a European official who spoke on condition of anonymity, NATO hopes to provide Ukraine with up to $10 billion worth of weapons through the new mechanism. This is just a starting point, but it is an ambitious goal that we are striving for. We are already moving in this direction. We support this ambition. We need this amount, the source said. The American source explained to Reuters that the proposed mechanism bypasses the lengthy U.S. arms sales procedures, which are usually used to replenish its own stockpiles. However, NATO member states will have to pay the United States in advance for the accelerated restoration of these stocks. The technical details of the payment, including the mechanism for transferring funds to the United States, are currently being discussed. At the same time, the Peace Act has already been registered in the U.S. Congress, which provides for the creation of a special fund at the U.S. Department of the Treasury. NATO allies will be able to transfer funds to this fund to compensate for the cost of equipment transferred to Ukraine. Earlier on Friday, it became known that Germany would transfer 2 Patriot systems to Ukraine in the following months, first launchers and then the rest of the complex. In April, NATO allies pledged more than $20 billion in military support for Ukraine.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comments section. The membership link is in the description.
gets 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.